Good morning, good morning. It's me, the Alpha Empath, and I'm here to share with you this morning my morning meditation. And I wanted to give you guys a story about my baby. My baby he's an empathic child, an indigo child, whatever it is that you want to call him. I don't really care about that kind of stuff. But if this is happening to your child, I want to give you some reassurance about what is going on. So, when I had my child, and if you're watching me, go ahead and say good morning to me. I want to know who's looking at me, okay? And if you have an empathic child, let me know that as well, okay? And if you are not watching this live, go ahead and hit hashtag replay. And last but not least, if you like what I'm saying, go ahead and share me. Okay, so at the age of 16, I was told that I would have another baby, but I wasn't told by any physical being. It came to me in a dream, and I was told that I would have another son. Now, I had just had a son when this dream came to me. So I wasn't really feeling that shit, right? I really wasn't feeling that shit. But the dream was so real. It was so real and it was so vivid that I never ever fucking forgot it. And I was told that my child's name would be Zion. See, I have a special association with this word Zion. I do, okay? So, fast forward 10 years later, I was told I could not have any more children. I couldn't have any more children. So that dream of having another child, it kind of went away. It went away, okay? But I never gave up hope in my heart, even though I gave up hope in my head, if that makes sense, okay? Fast forward another 10 years. So now I am almost 40 years of age, almost 40 years of age. And after being told, because I had a brain tumor, I had a pituitary tumor on my gland that would not cause me to ovulate. I had not ovulated in 17 years, no menstrual periods at all. If you are an empath, you better really be careful about cleaning out your emotional bank account. Because when you don't clean out your emotional bank account, it manifests as physical ailments for you. You got to keep that shit clear, okay? You really, really do, okay? So, 17 years, I did not have a menstrual cycle. And then I felt this desire. See, sometimes you'll be sown seeds. You'll be sown seeds, and that seed won't manifest until years later because you're not ready for it to manifest. You're not ready for it to manifest, okay? So 17 years after having no ministration, I go, Spirit leads me. Spirit leads me to go on a 10-day fast. I went on a 10-day dry fast. Okay? I went on a 10-day dry fast. Now, if you don't know what that means no water, no food, no nothing. And I was doing it because, to be honest with you, I was seeking my health. It wasn't really about no baby. It really, really wasn't. Okay? And then it was followed by a 30-day juice fast and water fast. I was doing because I was telling Spirit, I am willing to pay the price to get my health back in order. That's what I was willing to do. Well, after these 45 days, I went back to the hospital maybe 2 months later, found out I was pregnant. I hadn't even had a period. I just came up pregnant, and I was pregnant with twins, you guys. Twins. Do you hear me? Now, let me turn on these comments to let me see if y'all help us say good morning to me. You know, good heifers, you didn't even say fucking good morning. You goddamn rude. I see you watching me. Okay. So, anyway, I'm pregnant with twins, okay? And I'm thinking in my head, this is the child that I was promised. And I went on a special diet because when you have an empathic child, when you have a child that has a lot of spiritual wisdom, it requires that the mother do her pregnancy has to be a little bit different. It just does. I knew in my spirit that I had to eat certain foods. I knew that I couldn't be in certain environments. I knew that I had to get my marriage in order. I knew that I had to get my house in order because I was ushering in a spirit that was going to be different than any other that I had ever ushered in. So I prepared myself for this child. Here it is. I got my tub, my hot tub in my living room. I got my drums beating because I want my baby to be born in the water. I did not want my baby to be born in a hospital. I wanted something really, really special and sacred for this kid, okay? So my baby is born. And when he comes out, we're in the bed, we're sleeping, and immediately my baby starts having something that I didn't know what it was called at the time. But in the middle of the night, he would wake up screaming and he would be paralyzed. Like I couldn't shake him, I couldn't get him to wake up. He would just be paralyzed, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on. But if you have ever had a child that has experienced night terrors, you know that it is heart wrenching. It is fucking heart wrenching because as a parent, there is nothing you can do. There is nothing that you can do. So I took him to this doctor, took him to that doctor, and I was told he's experiencing a night terror, and the best thing that you can do is just leave him alone. I'm a mother. That shit ain't gonna fly. I'm a mother. My child is screaming like he is in physical pain. And you're telling me I just got to leave him alone. And I remember for months, for about 6, 7 months straight, I would just cry when these things would happen. And the doctors had no answers. So I said, I need somebody to give me some answers. So I reached out to Spirit. Tell me what the fuck is going on with my child. I thought my child was battling some demons and I felt I couldn't fucking help him. And it was driving me fucking crazy. I tried to talk to my husband about it, and he was like, oh no, he's just having bad dreams. No, 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 motherfucker. I knew it was something more than that. I knew it was something more than that. So I began fasting and praying again because I needed to understand what was happening with my son. The answer to my prayers did not come until 3 years later. 3 years later, I had to endure that. My son, in the middle of the night, I kid you not, probably twice a week. That is why my son, he never slept in a crib ever. He always slept right here in my arms because I wanted to be there and hold him. I don't care if they told me to leave him alone and don't touch him. I don't give a fuck about that. I wanted to be there to hold him when he experienced these things. So when he was around 3, I'll never forget. I had had a stroke. I had had a stroke, and it was a really really bad one. And I was laying in the bed, and I was having a dream. I was having a dream, and it was a dream about me and my ex-husband. Well, I started not being able to breathe in this dream. Good morning, Darlene. How are you, honey? I was not able to breathe in this dream, and I felt myself battling myself to awaken so I could draw a breath, but I was paralyzed. I couldn't even fucking breathe. Do you hear me? I could not breathe, and I knew that I was about to die. I knew it. I said, okay, if I'm finna fucking die, let me just go ahead and die because I could not draw breath. In this same moment, I get these hard kicks against my back. It is my son, Yakin. He is kicking me really, really hard and he is screaming. And mother's instinct kicks in. It kicks in. And I wake up, I draw breath, and then I turn over to my son to see what is going on with him. He is screaming. I'm shaking him. I'm turning him upside down. I'm turning him the other way. I'm patting his back. He finally awakens and he says, Mommy, you died and I could not find you. Now, at this moment, you can call it phenomenon. You can call it whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm telling you that this shit is real, okay? At this moment, I recognized that my son had shared my dream. Now, I don't even know, at that time, I didn't know how anything like that was even fucking possible. I didn't know it was even possible. But remember, if you're an empath, you can share people's feelings. Remember that. Now, when children come here, when empathic children are born, a lot of times empaths become empaths because of trauma, right? But some children come here already with the fucking gift, okay? So, like us, we can feel your emotions and feel your pain and feel your laughter and feel your joy. Empathic children come in already feeling that, but when they are experiencing night terrors in the middle of the night, it's because they're going through something that a lot of people call the dark night of the soul. You see, these children come in and they have to get prepared early. They don't get prepared later in life like we do. Like I experienced my spiritual awakening later on in life. My son started experiencing his in his birth to toddler years. And I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I didn't know that children could experience a spiritual awakening at that young of an age, but they can. They can. Now, if you are an empath, and you're listening to this, you understand how spiritual awakening can be fucking terrifying. Think about how it would be for a newborn. You see how fucking paralyzing it can be as an adult. Do not for an instance believe that your child cannot go through that as a baby, as a toddler. They can. And the reason why your doctor cannot help it is because it's not a physical problem. It is a spiritual problem that your child is well equipped to deal with. Now, if your child is going through those things right now, here's what I'm going to advise you to do. Listen to your doctor. Go ahead. If he's telling you to leave him alone, don't listen to that shit. Don't listen to that shit. What you need to do is you need to go into something that the old church mothers used to call intercessory prayer. That's what they used to call it. Okay? Now, I'm not really religious, but let me tell you what intercessory prayer is. It is nothing but you forming energy based on the words that are coming out of your mouth as a protective shield around your child. That is what it is, okay? And you need to do that for your fucking children. Listen, the prayers of my grandmother are still covering me now. Now. Even though she prayed it a long time ago. See, just like the scripture says, the words that I speak will go out and they will not return unto me void. It is the same thing with your voice. So when my grandmother's prayers went out from me, her prayers did not return unto her void, but they protected me and they are protecting me now. Do the same damn thing for your children. Do the same damn thing for your children. And don't be confused by this Tower of Babel shit. Like, oh, I call it prayer. I call it energetic blessings. I call it rituals. I don't give a fuck what you call it. It is same. It's still the same thing, just different ways of understanding knowledge from source. Don't be distracted by that. Okay, it's what caused us to separate. It's, oh well, I call it politics. I call it family drama. It's the same fucking thing. Pray for your children. Use your words to encase them and protect them in an energetic bubble. Do that. Now, me and my son, now to this day, we still share dreams. And I have not really told anybody about these things because I didn't want them to think I was batshit crazy. But then I stopped fucking caring. I stopped fucking caring because I realized that people need to understand this knowledge that I have. Me and my son just shared a dream 2 nights ago. He was dreaming about honeybees and they were buzzing around him, honeybees. They were buzzing around him and there was water at his feet. Well, on that same night, I was having a dream about being in sacred waters and there were all these women around me and they were pouring water over my head and there were bees around. Well, this energy about honeybees, it is really the energy of Oshun. Now, as I said, don't get caught up in linguistics. Don't get caught up in that. It is an energy pattern that is called Oshun. And some people call it something else, Mother Gaia. I don't care what you call it. You just need to understand what the energy pattern represents, okay? So for me, this water being poured over my head represented rebirth. Honeybees fertilize everything. They do. They fertilize everything. They bring life to everything, just like water does. I'm a fucking pollinator, and my son is as well. So we share a spiritual journey. That's what we do. We share a spiritual journey. Now, this sharing of dreams that me and my son have, I've actually had that with two other people, okay? And you might have this sharing of dreams with somebody else that's really, really close to you. I've had past life visions of my relationships with other people. And when I see them in this present experience and I recognize them, I'll say, oh shit, I saw this person in a dream. Now, the face was different, the body was different, but the energy is the fucking same. See, as an empath, you better start recognizing people by their energy, not by this fucking meat suit. Now, I love my meat suit. Don't get nothing twisted. I love my fucking meat suit. But you need to see with this eye instead of these eyes. Recognize energy patterns. Last night, I had another dream. And ever since I went and experienced ayahuasca, my dreams have been more vivid. And I am not going to encourage you guys to go and do that shit. Don't, no, 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 no. Okay. That shit is not to be played with. Okay. I did it because she called me and she's like, bitch, come and see me. But if she ain't called you, don't show up at her goddamn door. Do not do that. Let me repeat. Do not do that because It brings you into a different level of awakening. At least it did that for me. At least it did that for me. But thankfully, I was prepared for it. I was prepared for it. If you are not prepared for that, if spirit is not leading you to do that, don't do that shit. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Because that bitch got hands. Don't do it. And when I tell you she put a motherfucking whipping on my goddamn ass, she really, really did. But let's get back to empathic children. Let's get back to empathic parents. So this gene, the empathic gene, it's really a fucking gene. It's not just some bullshit that we fucking making up. It's a fucking genetic disposition. Okay, it is a genetic disposition, and it is passed down through the bloodlines. So if you are an empath and you became an empath through forging of trauma, you can give that gene to your baby. And as I said in yesterday's video, empathic children cannot be parented like normal children. These motherfuckers gonna test you. They gonna test you. And all that, I'm gonna spank his little ass to get him to do what I want him to do. He's not gonna be conformed in the physical. You have to cultivate their spirits and cultivate their souls. That's what you have to do. And in order to do that, your inner child is gonna have to be healed before you can heal your own outer child. Do you understand what I'm saying? I am saying that as an empathic parent, you have to heal your inner child before you can heal your child. The child that came out of you, the child that it's from your loins. That is the price of bringing in a soul that is highly vibrational. You're going to have to do the work on yourself. And don't get shit twisted by trying to change them. No, you need to motherfucking change. It's you. Okay? So, again, if you have an empathic child and they are experiencing night terrors, my heart goes out to you. But your child is going through spiritual awakening at a young age. Ask your child if they remember their dreams. My son remembers his dreams. I remember he told me, he said, Mama, when I was in the place before I got here, I sent my real mama down before me. She came down to earth before I came, and then I chose you to be my mama. He said this to me at 3 or 4. Now I was jealous because I was like, who the fuck you talking about your goddamn real mama? Motherfucker, I'm your goddamn real mama. But he said he chose me. My son also remembers having a fucking family, and it ain't the family we got now. My son is way more spiritually advanced than me. Way more. If you are an empath, I encourage you to understand your gifting so you can help your children understand theirs. I love you. Again, if you like what I'm saying, go ahead and share the video. If you need my help, I am a coach. I am a spiritual guide. Go ahead and go to my website. It's www.thealphaempath.com, or you can join one of my classes. I have something called Sunday School every Sunday at 7 p.m. Inbox me for details. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.